Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here with some horror news. And yeah, guys, usually we cover horror news. Well, I mean, it kind of just is whenever the news pops up, right? But lately we've been doing it on Wednesdays for Late Night with the Davey. But we had like a whole bunch of little things pop up here. Some Halloween stuff, some Friday the 13th stuff. It's kind of a little bit all over the place. So I figured I would jump in, talk to you guys about all of this right now tonight, and then scramble to figure out what to do tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be streaming from over at my sister's house. So I don't know if Duncan will make an appearance because I'll probably close the door, and like that way my sister and her husband don't have to listen to me being all loud and everything. Well, I'm sure they'll hear me anyways. But we'll make sure you guys get some time with Duncan this weekend. But yeah, we'll have some fun tomorrow night. And here tonight we are, gathering together to talk about some horror news. So I'm going to say what's up to everybody here in the house, and then yeah, we will get going. I already see some RIPs out there for Dolly Parton, and yeah, I mean, Dolly was amazing. Not only a really awesome performer, and somebody that was so friggin' quick-witted that it seemed like in any given moment she had like a really succinct, sweet, down-home way of wrapping things up, and not even teaching a lesson, but just having some sort of witticism or some sort of words of wisdom that were just very, I don't know, something where you're just like, how come I couldn't think of that? Because sometimes you hear something from somebody else and at its essence, it really is so simple. But sometimes we just can't see those things for ourselves. So it's really awesome when people like Dolly are there to throw down that kind of wisdom. And of course, not only a great performer, but also a really good songwriter. I'm sure a lot of Dolly's fans know that she was a great songwriter, but some folks that are a little more casual, and like I consider myself relatively casual. I'm not going to sit here and stand up and act like, I know the whole catalog through and through, but, I'm a big music lover. So I do like to learn things about folks, even if I don't know every little bit of their career. And, for some folks that may only casually know her, before she was performing her own songs, she was writing songs for other people. Kind of like Willie Nelson had a sort of similar trajectory. And oddly enough, I think they kind of have a similar sort of sweet ballroom way of doing their country as well. But yeah, just a very talented performer. So I'm not going to dwell on it here. It's well outside of the realm of what we usually talk about as far as horror and everything goes. So I understand that we want to acknowledge it. And of course, give, all the love to the family and the friends, and of course all the fans. There are some like real diehard Dolly fans out there, and we as time goes on, we're gonna keep on losing people that have had a great impact. So it is good to take pause, and if you're a fan, regardless of where you fall on that fandom, maybe tonight's a good night to light a candle and put on your favorite Dolly record or something, or just drive around and listen to a little bit of Dolly, or listen to some of the songs she wrote before she was doing her own thing out there. Or you can listen to Whitney Houston sing the song that is the most famous song of Dolly's. But anywho, I'm going to say what's up to you guys, and we're just going to jump right into the news. How about it? How about that? We got Paula Fitzhenry, one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Paula? Tia Nina, oh my gosh, Miss Tia Nina, one of our fantastic, exceptional channel members. I'm never going to live it down. The one time, I don't even know what I said, Tia. I don't know if I just said, we got Tia Nina with us. I might have just skated past it. But I'll never live it down. Daniel, how are you doing? Welcome on in, man. Paula is dropping a $5 super chat already. She wants to Eddie Munson this thing, which I think means just like rock it out. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that that's what Paula means. Yeah, guys, if we reach our super chat goal, three more super chats. We have 2 so far. So if we get 5 super chats of $5 or more within the next like 44 minutes, we'll do a bonus stream this weekend. So my Saturday night is all booked up and spoken for. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. But don't worry. We'll be able to figure out plenty of time to hang out, y'all. So yeah, it could turn into a Friday thing, a Saturday during the day thing, a, whatever. We'll figure it out. If we reach the goal, we'll figure it out. How about that? Not going to put the cart in front of the horse on this one. What's happening, Prince? Welcome on in. I think the CD player looked pretty cool. I mean, for me, Prince, I like to build. I got to the point where I just like to build my own sound systems. So if I were to get a CD player at this point in my life, I would probably just buy I have a powered speaker, so I'd probably just buy like a CD player that literally is just the thing, and let my powered speaker do all the rest of the work. But yeah, I think CDs are great. It's a great way to listen to music. Music on CDs sounds fantastic. It's not quite vinyl, but it does sound really good. And it's going to sound better than streaming. Especially if you have if your ear is like really attuned, if you have a sharp ear, you will notice the difference for sure. What's happening, Ryan? One of our great channel members, Ryan West. How are you doing, Ryan? Welcome on in, man. Who else do we have here? We got Blu-ray. Yes, R.I.P. Dolly. Just such a lovely presence. How are you doing, Daniel? Welcome on in. We got Midnight Vestige in the house, and we got Miss Linda, one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Linda? Welcome on in. Oh my gosh, Ryan. I listen to streams when I'm in the shower as well. Usually I don't need to add on the part about being naked. I would be more alarmed if you told me. So if you didn't say anything, Ryan, if you're just like, I'm in the shower, I'm just going to assume you're, doing the thing that most people do in the shower, peeing, right? I'd be more disturbed if you were like, I'm fully clothed in the shower, if anyone wanted to know. Welcome on in, Lito. Hope you're doing well, man. One of our great channel members and a good bud, Mr. Hollywood Lito Suave. And who else do we have here? We got Sean Fleming. How are you doing, Sean? Welcome on in. Hope you're doing very well. Yeah, Dolly was in 9 to 5. Yeah. Yes, seeing a lot of that today. Seeing a lot of that. And I didn't know that she was quietly a producer on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She wasn't personally credited, but one of her a company that she had with another woman, they financially contributed, they backed it, so they were one of the producers, but they went through the name of the business entity. So that's a little cute bit of trivia, right? I think so. How are you doing, Jamie? Welcome on in, Miss Jamie Hart, our original Death Squad mod, our mama mod, a channel member, a complete ride or die. Hope you're doing very well, Miss Jamie. Paula drops another $5 super chat and says Dolly was beautiful inside and out. Her personality and her songs will live on. Absolutely. And her fingerprint on country music and just on, I think, songwriting in general. That is something that's going to be homaged and imitated and part of the lexicon and the iconography of country music forever. And then, like Lito had just mentioned, the humanitarian work. I mean, all of that is gonna, like you're saying, Paula, the personality and her songs. Absolutely. She's got a very fit legacy, I would say. Didn't Dolly sing a lot of R&B songs? I don't know. But I mean, some of her songs, even back in the day, weren't too far. There was an era in pop music where if you go back and you listen to the pop musics from that time, maybe back then they felt different. But if you go back now with today's lens, there's a lot more, what's the word that I'm looking for? Much more like shared sensibilities. But yeah, I think definitely some R&B. Even didn't she sing on the Islands in the Stream song? To me, I think of that as an R&B song. Honestly, it's like an R&B duet. But back then, it was probably a lot more country because of who was singing it. But if you just listen to the songs, or just listen to the song itself, to me, it sounds like it's very R&B. Yeah, we're gonna talk a little RoboCop TV show, guys. Holy cow, it's gonna get crazy. There we go. Linda knows what's up. I didn't even have to say it. She's got all the trivia. It is too bad. I mean, it's like I said, as time goes on, we're gonna keep on losing people, unfortunately. But, you know, it's a reminder to celebrate people while they're here, and yeah, and just you know, bask in everything they can give us, because we know that that's all part of life. And then we really get to celebrate them once they go. Then we get to have the big old blowout and everyone comes out, right? Like they're doing over Dolly right now. She lived an amazing life, you know? So, yeah, maybe it's just a good inspiration for other people, just in general, right? This weekend is the Detroit Horror Con. Holy cow, are you going, Ryan? If so, whose signatures are you getting? I don't know if I'm not going to try to sing this, guys. I would hate to screw it up and then have it be seen as anywhere near disrespectful on the day that Dolly is passed. But you guys can sing it for me, or kind of with me, right? You know, I don't know. Jigsaw, thank you so very much for the $5 super chat. I do know the tune and everything. Oh my gosh. I just, yeah. And they are together. Both again in heaven. That's very sweet, Jigsaw. Thank you so very much for the super chat. Thank you. We got Super Tenor, one of our great channel members. What's happening, Super Tenor? Mr. Aaron was at the birthday boy of the weekend, everyone. So if you missed telling him happy birthday, there you go. You guys, oh my goodness. She was Miley Cyrus's godmother. Wild. I guess that doesn't surprise me, right? It all makes sense. It's all coming to light. How are you doing, Izzy? Welcome on in. It's great to be here with you as well, man. Did I miss somebody else? Let's see here. Just making sure I'm not missing anyone. Just making sure. Kenny Rogers as R&B. What? Both Kenny and Dolly were considered country pop in the... I know, I get it. Yes. But what I'm saying is, now when we look back, like, that song to me sounds like R&B. It does. Sounds like rhythm and blues. It's played in the veil. It's, you know, in the trappings of country music. But sometimes there are those songs, right, that they have the sensibilities of one genre, but then they're dressed up in the instrumentation and the, you know, I mean, not even the arrangement, pretty much just the instrumentation of a different genre. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right and anyone's wrong or anything. I'm just saying that when I think of that song and I think of that beat and I think of that bass line, I'm like, that sounds like rhythm and blues to me. It does. But yes, they absolutely are country artists for sure. Okay, guys, let's get into it. Let's jump into the horror news. How about it? Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I know I said yesterday during the members only stream, I was like, maybe I'll go live late tonight. And guys, it just didn't end up working because instead I ended up shooting a video. I'm in the middle of editing it now. It should be out tomorrow. So I don't think I'll have any issue doing that because I'm already like halfway through the edit and it's not very long, but I'm super pumped on this one. It's got a little something to do with Elm Street. You guys know that franchise? It's called A Nightmare on Elm Street, something like that. Guy named Freddy Krueger. I don't know. But anywho, keep an eye out for that because it's something a little bit different for me. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Anywho, let's jump on into the news. What do we got here? The very first thing we got some fun stuff coming up, guys. You know, nothing too crazy. Oh my God, I'm in a circle. Ah! Guys, the original 3 Halloween films are going to be hitting the cinema this fall. I think it's pretty cool. Just something really quick we can talk about. Nothing we have to sit here and mull over. In fact, you know what though? I am going to make it last a lot longer than it should because that's what I do. I just talk way too much. But this comes from John Squires here. We all know the classic Halloween movies. Well, ahead of the release of the video game on September 8th, the original Halloween trilogy. Well, I don't know if we, you know, the first 3 Halloween movies, how about we call them that, are going to be releasing in AMC theaters across 3 consecutive nights. So guys, if you want to see any one or all 3 of the very first 3 Halloween movies on September 4th, you can check out the original from 1978. September 5th, you can check out its sequel from 1981, banger of a sequel, Dick Warlock, all friggin' day. And then on September 6th, you can watch Halloween 3, Season of the Witch in the theater. How about that? At AMC. I think that's pretty cool. I have seen, man, I know I've seen the first one in the theater, but I don't think on a screen like at AMC. That's the thing. Like second run, smaller theaters, I've seen it out there. And I don't think I've ever seen 2 or 3 in the theater. So this might be the perfect thing for your boy, Davey Deathray. So I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Just something for all you folks that are, maybe you never caught these in the theater or want to relive a fond memory. AMC is giving you the chance to do that. And then it's right ahead of the release of that video game. And speaking of the video game, folks, this came out last week that they're going to be releasing a comic. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. It was right underneath my nose the whole time. Guys, Halloween the Game is getting an official Michael Myers comic book series, which I think looks pretty awesome. The artwork is like really interesting and like, I don't know, kind of abstract. I'm sort of surprised. I mean, some of the artwork is like kind of your standard fare, but we'll take a look here, guys. And let's just jump into the article right away. We are now just weeks away from the release of Halloween the Game, a brand new video game based on John Carpenter's original classic that releases digitally on September 8th. I don't know why I'm having a tough time with the word release. Releases. Anywho, while you wait, Halloween the Game is taking a new shape with a comic book series. Daily Dead has exclusively announced the upcoming comic book series this afternoon with Halloween the Game comic, interesting title, headed our way from IllFonic and Panic Entertainment. The comic book, quote, takes readers back to the terrifying events surrounding Halloween 1978, offering a new story featuring Michael Myers at his most relentless. And here's the official synopsis, guys. Quote, on the night before Halloween 1978, Michael Myers orchestrates a brutal escape from Smith's Grove Sanitarium, leaving a trail of bodies in his wake. As Dr. Loomis realizes pure evil is loose, Michael begins his relentless journey home toward Haddonfield, slaughtering anyone unfortunate enough to cross his path. Oh, this sounds good. This game sounds like it's going to be an absolute hoot. Again, I just want to say I don't need the backstory in a movie. I like that we've kept the mystery in the movie. However, I do think that different forms of media just sort of like, beckon for chances like this to be taken and different things to be explored. So I love the idea of seeing all of this in a game and being able to play through it and knowing that it isn't something that is canonically part of that movie or anything, although maybe they're saying it is. I don't know. But the new comic series expands upon the world and characters of the new Halloween video game while delivering a standalone horror story inspired by the mythology and atmosphere that made the original 1978 film a landmark of the genre. So this one is written by Hans Rodinhoff and Adam F. Goldberg, featuring art by Eamon Winkle, Robert Nelson, Ivan Dedov, and Sean O'Toole. Wait, Adam F. Goldberg, is this the guy that I'm imagining? I have to pull this up on, because I know there's Adam Goldberg that's, been an actor in a whole bunch of movies and stuff. But this is so different Adam Goldberg, but this is the Adam Goldberg that the Goldbergs TV show is based on? Yeah, the creator, Adam Frederick Goldberg, is the guy that he created the Goldbergs TV show. He's worked on a whole bunch of other stuff as well. But he had a hand in writing this. Okay, well, there we go. I mean, I recognize the name. I needed to figure out which one it was. The team previews this is classic Michael Myers Unleashed, and we think fans are going to love getting a glimpse of some truly spine-tingling moments that were not seen in Carpenter's original film. So there you go. These are going to release November 4th, 2026. Interesting. The first issue of the comic book series will also be included digitally with the digital deluxe edition. Gotcha. And physically with the limited collector's editions of Halloween the Game. Okay, so if you got the digital deluxe or you got the limited collectors, you can get a copy of that first issue. Everyone else is going to have to wait until the game's been out for a couple months. But that's fair. If you're going to buy the special version, special edition, you should be able to get that special edition. And then I'm just going to, let's see here. Sorry, guys. Just going to open up the different covers here. Okay, there we go. And then we can just take a look at them individually. How about that? I mean, this is pretty badass here. Michael in the rain. I dig it pretty well. We can sort of zoom in there. You know, obscuring the face. He looks big, but he doesn't look too big. You know, not crazy hulking or anything like that. Gotta love the, you know, we got a couple of the patients in the background looking up at the rain. Someone left the shape out in the rain, right? Something like that. So this is one of those, like, I really dig this kind of art. You know, this is more of that straightforward kind of art. And then we've got something that's a little more like abstract. And I really dig this look too. I mean, you guys know me. I just like different stuff. You know, if it looks good, it looks good. Granted, the Michael mask in the reflection of the knife could look a little more like Michael, maybe less on the eyebrow front or less, you know, perception of lighting there on the eyebrows. But I really dig the smashed pumpkin, and I do like the autumn kind of look in the background, the abstract background and everything. I think this looks great. Let's take a zoomed in look at this one as well. Yeah, I really dig this kind of thing. The seeds everywhere, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you guys know the comic book artist Bill Sienkiewicz, but I love his style. His style is super abstract and totally wild, but I really dig it. And then here we're getting a little bit more of that, you know, modern kind of comic book look here with Loomis and, of course, Nurse Marion and everything, and the rabbit in red. Gotta have that, and a really cool kind of rainy look at Michael here. Again, obscured face, all that kind of stuff. I really dig it. I dig what they're doing here. So yeah, just a little bit on this comic that's going to dive into the games and everything, and you know, the backstory stuff that we've never seen in the movie or anything like that. But I'm curious to know from you guys, you know, if you're watching live or if you're watching after the fact, have you already pre-ordered the game? Did you get one of these deluxe editions? Are you pumped for the comic? If you didn't get one of the deluxe editions, are you looking forward to snagging these when they come out? All that kind of good stuff. Just let me know what you guys got. I'm going to jump on over to the live chat and see what they're saying over there. Okay, guys, let's jump on in here. Oh my gosh, Shannon, welcome on in. I hope you're doing very well. And guys, did we really reach our goal? I owe you one, Jigsaw, on not being able to. I just, you know, I owe you one. I'll sing my heart out on the next one. Which of the Halloween trilogy are you most looking forward to? I would say to see Season of the Witch in the theater will be really cool. Like, that's if I can only make one, just because, you know, life happens. But, you know, if I can only make one, it's going to be Season of the Witch, because I've seen the other two so many times. I've seen the original on a few different, like, in a few different theater settings, nothing quite like AMC. But I think, like, you know, the third one, it's just, I don't know. It would be cool. Yeah, I think it would be pretty special to see that. So if I had to pick one, but of course, if I can, I'll try to go to all three. If they were playing in all one night, I would go to all three. That would almost be easier for me, is just to be like, all right, that whole night, that's what I'm doing. Is Elm Street near Parts Unknown or The Bottomless Pit? It's somewhere around there, Jigsaw. It's right in this strange area nestled between Crystal Lake and Haddonfield, Illinois. You know, and it kind of is. Isn't that weird? Because Crystal Lake is New Jersey, and then Illinois is on the west, would be west of Ohio, where Springwood is. Wow. I just talked out of my ass for a second and actually said something that made sense. Wow, that's a scary thought, guys. That's a scary thought. Thank you all so very much for helping us reach the super chat goal. We will get a bonus stream on in this weekend. Sorry, guys, just need a sip of my pink lemonade ghost, and then we'll get going here on the next little bit of news. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Hope the game is not a letdown like Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw. Sean, it shouldn't be. It's, you know, gun is just like a small part of this. And it seems like the games that have the issues are the games that are ran by Gun, but this is ran by IllFonic. So there have been plenty of assurances from the Halloween people and the video game people that this is a game that isn't going to end up dead in the water like those. Yeah, those are classic. Classic. Excited to talk RoboCop. Linda, are you a big Dan Stevens fan? I'm nervous because of Dan Stevens. Elm Street. Never heard of it. I am nervous because of Dan Stevens, but we will get there. I'm gonna have one more sip and then we'll get jumping on in here. Christine, welcome on in. Yes, guys, hit that like button, everyone. I'm terrible for reminding you guys. We've been going for 27 minutes, and Christine said it before I did. Yeah, I remember hearing about Cop Rock. Never seen it, though. What's happening? Zero Motionless Zombie, or O Motionless Zombie. Hope you're doing very, very well. Welcome on in. Okay, guys, let's talk some Crystal Lake here and Jason Universe, my favorite. What's happening, Gory? Welcome on in, man. Okay, what do we got first? What we got first, actually, is boom, right? Is it up there? Is it up there? We have a new Crystal Lake image, guys. It previews Pamela Voorhees' Dark Descent. This one comes to us from Megan Navarro. And really, guys, we all know what's going on with Crystal Lake. It's the origin story of Pamela Voorhees and Jason Voorhees as well. It is going to be premiering, actually not just premiering, but the whole season. All 8 episodes are going to dump on Peacock on October 15th. So there we go. Coming to us from A24. I did see on one of my Jason Universe video, or just actually no, it was a Crystal Lake video. There are people jumping in being like, I don't trust anything with the Jason Universe. And just to let you guys know that are hanging out live, or anyone that watches the stream after the fact, hit the like button if you haven't already. So Jason Universe, yes, technically they're involved with Crystal Lake. They've basically given Crystal Lake their blessing to make Jason look however they want. You know, they're like, we're not going to tell you that you can't use any version of Jason. So we will take part of the money. I don't know what that deal is, but everything that I've gathered is that Jason Universe is staying out of Crystal Lake, creatively speaking. Everything I know points to A24 and specifically Brad Caleb Kane, who's the showrunner, that they are the ones controlling, you know, Crystal Lake, and that really Jason Universe is like, we give it our stamp of approval, and we're not going to bug you about the rights, but we're not going to tell you what to do. So, anyways, all of that aside, we are going to talk some Jason Universe here, but we know all about the show, right? So, dropping on 15th on Peacock, 15th of October. And we know who's all in it and everything like that. But really, we've just got this image here that I want to share with you guys. This is, you know, going to be a pretty quick one. Let's see if we can zoom in on it. Okay, we can. So, guys, clearly something has happened here. Pamela's got blood on her face. It looks like she's cut up underneath her right eye. Her eye looks to be bruised. Blood on her hand. This is interesting because, you know, when I first saw it, you know, I looked at it a few hours ago and I thought to myself, oh, like what? There's nothing here. This is just like Pamela, like maybe she just killed Barry and Claudette or something like that, right? Now that I'm looking at it though, and I'm zoomed in, I'm like, wait a minute. This looks more like she's been hit. Like it looks like she has a black eye. Her right eye on the left side of the screen, but her right eye looks swollen. There's a cut on her cheek just below the eye. The blood on her hands could be defensive. Fuck, are we going to get Jason's father here? Are we going to get an abusive situation with her and someone else? Does she look a little bit younger here too than how they've shown her in the rest of the series? You know, it's tough to tell. I don't know. Again, guys, this is just sort of hitting me now. I didn't think anything of it before, but now I'm like, wait a minute. We know that that's part of her backstory. At least, you know, it's been part of her backstory in other media, right? It's been a huge part of her backstory in other media. Every single time it plays a part. That doesn't mean that they're going to use it here, but it also is like, I mean, they could. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm very curious to know what you guys are getting from this image. We don't need to dwell on it too long. Like, really, if you're hanging out live, I just want to know what you think. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments. This is like an image where I'm like, shoot, do I need to shoot a short about this to ask people out there? Because, you know, the live streams don't really reach very far. And now I'm like, damn, I think this is a picture that should be creating a bit of a conversation. I don't know. I'm going to jump back on over and see what you guys are saying. Let's jump on into the comments. I'll keep that image up here. Yeah, MacArthur Park. I know the Weird Al version the most. Pre-ordered the collector's edition. I can't wait. Hell yeah, dude. I'm pumped for you, man. Are you going to stream it, Daniel? You should stream it, man. Oh, and the physical copies aren't coming out until October. Okay. Well, that sucks, right? It's kind of a bummer. You know, it's been, Sean, I would say the love for, really, I think the growing love for Season of the Witch started back around like 08, 2010. You know, sometime around when people could actually get a hold of a like nice quality copy, because it just was really tough to find for a good chunk of time. You know, they would play it on TV, but it was tough to find a good physical copy. So yeah, I think the tune started turning on part 3 like, yeah, 15, 16 years ago. It's been gradual since then, you know. I do speak Ace Ventura. Oh, righty. Will there be gaming streams when the game comes out? I wish, Paula. I don't have a computer that can do gaming. I would love to get set up with something like that, but it's just not going to be realistic for this Halloween game. It's amazing. Well, no, but I mean, actually, I just said something, just like wasn't even thinking about what I was saying. And then when I thought about it, I was like, wait, all of that made actual sense. It wasn't even like metaphorically true. It was like, oh, no, wait, that's like literally exactly the right thing. Crazy. What's happening, Enigma? Welcome on in. Great to see you. The ladies love Dan Stevens. You know what it is for me, and we'll talk about it here in a minute. For me, I don't like his American accent. It kind of bugs. I don't know, like, certain Brits do a good job at it, but I think sometimes it comes off as a little, like, too enunciated, but whatever. I get it. Like, the ladies love Dan Stevens. I get it. Yes, I'm going to do... I don't know what to do about that, Daniel, for Crystal Lake. Part of me wants to just go live watch party, but I obviously can't show it on the screen. So everyone would have to watch their own copy. And then there's also like, how much would I really be able to get to pay attention? Although from a streamer standpoint, doing a live watch party right at the moment that it drops would be really good, you know, could potentially be really good for the channel. But what I would have to do then is rewatch it by myself after, if I'm really gonna like let it sink in and talk about it, which I have no problem doing. No problem doing both of those things. I am a whore, Daniel, but only for you guys. Welcome on in, Derek, one of our great channel members right there. Hope you're doing well. I have heard we're gonna see Jason's father in the show. I did put out a little video about, are we gonna see this guy? And I was like, man, I don't think we would in the first season. Now, if it really is, if this scene is just something that's a very small thing where we only see little snippets, I could see them throwing him in there and maybe not even dropping the name at that point. Who knows if they're going to go Elias Voorhees? Because I've figured with 8 episodes, if you throw Elias in there, maybe it's a little too overstuffed. But if it really is just like Pamela, you know, showing that there's a history of that abuse and then Pamela retaliating, then yeah, they could put him in there. If that's all, if he's only going to be in like 15 minutes of an episode, then absolutely I could see that happening. Yeah. Let's see here. Paula wants to see Elias. Jason's father was originally supposed to be in Jason Lives. That is true. That's also in my video. Yes. I am most curious if they're going to adopt the Elias Voorhees lore that was never introduced in any way until Jason goes to HE double hockey mask sticks. Yeah. Welcome on in, Crime Scene. You know, I think sometimes in the lore, like when I was putting together that video and researching the Elias Voorhees lore, a lot of it is like very, very ugly, and I get it. And then there's there's like supernatural mystical side, but there's also the side of just like extreme abuse to Jason and to Pamela, and it's really upsetting. I'm not saying that they shouldn't include it just because it's upsetting, but it's like, man, in the comics it's really bad. So I think even if they show that in this TV show, I don't think they're going to take it as far as some of the stuff in the comics. There's even like a sadder version of Pamela's story where Elias still ends up showing up and being the terrible person he is. But Pamela is actually impregnated by someone else who assaulted her. It's just really sad. It's very sad. So I know we're going to get that sadness here in the TV show. And I think losing Jason and us seeing her lose Jason should be enough sadness that we don't have to dive too much into that. She looks way younger in this one. Could be before her and Jason leave for the camp. Yeah, and maybe it's her, it's the moment after she's finally said enough is enough and killed her abuser, right? And she's reaching out, letting the police know, letting the Christies know. We don't know. But this looks to be the phone call of like, I finally did it and I need a place to go. Like, I need a safe place to run away to. So her safe place for her and Jason is to run away to Crystal Lake. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. It's very possible, Paula. Yeah, it's very possible that whoever it is that was abusing her was, her husband, or at least, her romantic partner. Yeah. We are going to get Jason's father in this, and from what I heard, he'll be a drunk. Yeah, I mean, that's how he always is. So who do we think is playing him? He's not listed on the IMDb, which doesn't, they could always keep that secret, right? But guys, if you haven't watched my video that I put out last week, where I dive into the Elias Voorhees lore, and I ask those questions and kind of poke and prod around like, what's the likelihood of him being in this season? And then I ask you guys to let me know who you think would play him, or who you would want to see play him. Hell yeah, man. 9mm bullets ready to give to CJ Graham. He is a red-blooded American, man. He's great. I love it. Yeah, when he said something to me, he's like, I'm a red-blooded American. And I was like, I know. He's like, I'm not kidding, man. I was like, bro, I'm a firearm owner myself. All right. Like, you're in good company, brother. Like, I know what you're saying, CJ. I know what you're saying. I read too that they're going to introduce Jason's father. Well, let's see if this article says that, right? Let's see what they're saying. No, it just says as they've unveiled a fresh image for the upcoming series, teasing a bloody descent well before the events of Friday the 13th. So, yeah, interesting. And I'm not saying that it's not out there, guys. I was just checking to see if this article actually referred to it, and maybe, yeah. So Screen Rant unveiled the picture. So let's see if Screen Rant is saying something else about it. I doubt it, but let's check it out. Yeah, and if you guys know where that's being reported or whatever, feel free to let me know the name of the publication, and I'd love to just check it out, because it'd be good for just everything I do here, since I've been talking about the show. But yeah, I would not be, now that we're seeing this image, I would not be surprised if we're looking at Elias Voorhees here. Okay, come on. How many of these things do I need to scroll through? There we go. There hasn't been a new Friday the 13th movie since 2009. This is from the Screen Rant site where this picture initially came from. But the franchise is expanding in another exciting way with the debut of Crystal Lake. Plans for a TV series set in the franchise have been discussed for over 20 years, and A24 is finally making it happen with creator Brad Caleb Kane. The prequel will be the prequel to the original 1980 movie will primarily focus on Pamela Voorhees, who is still heavily grieving the death of her young son, Jason. Okay, it doesn't say anything about Elias there, but I trust you guys that you're seeing it out there somewhere in the ether. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Rebel Sky dropping a $2 super chat. Thank you so very much for jumping on in, Rebel Sky, one of our great channel members. I had no idea he was in that one. I had no idea. I totally missed that one. There you go. Live stream every episode. Yeah, and it's like this will be, they're going to dump the whole thing all at once. So it could be like it will be an epic stream, but we can do it. And then of course I can put together some sort of review of the whole series once I've, watched it, by myself, so I can really focus and write all that kind of stuff. It sounds like we're going to get the child version and the adult version, Sean. That's at least on the IMDb. Childhood, or young Jason's listed for 4 episodes with Callum Vincent playing the role, and then there's an adult Jason. I am forgetting that actor's name right now, but I have no doubt we're going to get, Jason's always depicted with, there's a physical deformity, and then there's also, usually mental disabilities as well. So I would imagine we're going to get, the Jason that we're used to seeing in that regard. Bigger question, is the Pamela picture after a murder or a flashback of Elias Voorhees being toxic? Yeah, I mean, I think we're on you probably put this in there. Okay, this is just a handful of minutes. Yeah, I mean, either way, yeah, it could be a flashback. I just mean that, yes, the picture, that's what I was thinking, Shannon. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I was thinking the same thing, that this takes place, whether it's a flashback or whether it's the way the show opens up, it takes place before she gets to the camp, what happened here anyways. So yeah, I am getting the feeling that that's what we're seeing, is the moment of I finally did it, like I killed him and I need a safe place to go. That's kind of what I'm picking up on here. Who knows, does the law get involved in sweeping it under the rug? Is she literally like on the lam, like is she running away from police? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you're still, yeah, I know. I was just reading from the, if I got anything juicy that brought up Elias, I would have swapped it over, but thank you for reminding me, because I do forget to do that quite a bit. But speaking of swapping the photo, let's get into I don't think, let's see here, just making sure I'm not missing any other ones. Oh my god, it'd be amazing if Creighton Duke I'd love Creighton Duke. What a character. Yeah, I am, guys, I'm right with Jamie on this one. And when they made that announcement, it was, something I was thinking right away. I like weekly shows too. I love the way that Welcome to Derry did it. And even though I didn't love the Alien Earth show like a whole bunch, I did look forward, like you're saying, the anticipation and the time to yes, all that stuff is all great to sit there, like you're saying too, Jamie, especially like, okay, selfishly, from a content creator standpoint, having that break is great because you can watch it, you can review it, you can theorize, you can talk to your audience about it, and you have a whole week to do all that stuff in the in-between and collaborate with other people, and you can really build like momentum. And I even think, correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys don't think this is true, tell me to, be like, Davey, come on. But I really do think that like that sort of like content creation, like kind of wheel, once it gets spinning and a bunch of people are doing it, I think it would help. You might even see improved viewership as one of these shows goes on, right? If it sounds like, if people are pumped on it, sounding really good, and there's a whole bunch of it being generated in the algorithm, I don't know, I think it could be great for the show. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer they're dumping it all at once. On the one hand, we'll be able to watch, like, it'd basically be a 2-part Halloween or Friday the 13th movie. Whoops. Freudian slip. It's what I really want to be watching. But yeah, it would have been cool if they did a weekly show. I would have liked that more. What's happening? DJ Plays Favorites. All right, guys, let's jump into the Jason universe malarkey, and this is going to be pretty much just a rapid fire. Guys, Pabst Blue Ribbon and Jason Universe join forces for limited edition Jason Voorhees 12 packs and more. Fucking kill me, guys. What the hell is happening here? Like, I've been kind of going back and forth on socials today, just listening to what other people have to say about this. And I'm kind of like over the whole like cross marketing with booze and horror icons. I just like, whatever. I guess it's a personal thing because I don't drink anymore, but also I'm just like, I don't know. Alcohol's killed way more people than Jason Voorhees ever will. How about that? So let's team up Jason Voorhees with some booze. It just seems like, I don't know, do we need to celebrate alcohol any more than we do in this global culture where every time you gather with other people, you're like encouraged to drink? But anyways, maybe I'm just on one, and maybe I just like to pick on the Jason universe. I mean, I guess that's true, but last year they did the Angry Orchard thing. Now Ghostface is doing it. And then this year we have Michael with the Voodoo Ranger 12-pack. It's just like, look, I get it with Jason. He's not making anyone any money. The only way they can make money off Jason is by selling trinkets, toys, fucking dolls, skins on Fortnite, and then this kind of shit, because he's not in the movies. And we're not seeing a bunch of Peacock subscriptions being purchased for Crystal Lake yet, even if that's gonna happen. We don't know, right? So I get it with Jason, but I'm like, Ghostface? Michael? Like, y'all are good. Y'all don't need to be doing the booze game right now. But let's take a look. Pabst Blue Ribbon, you know, one of the grossest aftertaste you'll ever have in your mouth. But let's see what they got. Food Beast has revealed this afternoon that Pabst Blue Ribbon has joined forces with the Jason universe for a limited edition 12-pack of PBR beer emblazoned with Jason's iconic mask. Well, not his iconic mask, but a mask that is like sort of designed after his iconic mask and falls well short. How about that? I think that's more accurate. Let's not lie here. The outlet details, quote, Pabst Blue Ribbon is teaming up with Horror Inc. for a limited edition Jason Voorhees collaboration that turns its 12-pack packaging into a wearable version of the slasher icon's hockey mask. You can cut the mask out of the box or apparently throw the whole damn 12-pack over your head and be IG photo dump ready. Fuck. Oh, it's like, you know, there are way bigger things to worry about in this world. I'm not really worked up about it, but I am here to talk about horror with you guys. And so I would be, you know, it would be dereliction of duty to not have a freak out over this. You can cut the mask out of the box or apparently throw the whole damn 12-pack over your head. Gee, so this is what they want. They just want a bunch of dummies doing dummy shit with their dummy Jason Voorhees mask. I don't know, guys. This is pretty depressing. Let's take a look at the pictures. Along with the wearable packaging, fuck yeah. Food Beast continues. Fans can expect a collection of Jason-themed apparel, glassware, koozies, tap handles, tackers, and bobbleheads. Just no movie in sight, right? It's going to run through November 13th. Let's look at this garbage that they're, you know, shoveling down our throats. And I'm just going to open up the images individually. There we go. Let's take a look at this one. I guess this is a tap handle. I mean, okay. Timmy's second grade. You know, the pint glass that says Pabst Blue Ribbon in the Friday the 13th, you know, text right here. Like, okay, the pint glass looks cool. Yeah, I still don't like the mask. This is just weird. Here we go. We got our guy Jason. Look out. You're not going to get through the doorway with this guy. Look out for him. Yeah, arriving in Southeast Portland this fall. And then we got this one. So yeah, you can see that you can cut out the mask there. It's amazing. So buy a 12-pack of gross beer and you've got a really cheap Halloween costume. And the last thing I'll say here is I do think they need a new slogan. I think Pabst should have a slogan for this that's like, after just 2 beers, you'll smell exactly like Jason's undead rotting corpse. Because seriously, Pabst Blue Ribbon, gross. I don't know. Am I weird about that? You guys let me know in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments, give me your thoughts down there. I'm going to run through the rest of this Jason universe malarkey and we can talk all about it. Right here, we've got one that says NECA's Fortnite Jason Voorhees action figure looks way cooler than the regular Jason universe figure. So that's where we've arrived here. We all know that there's, Fortnite skin. We kind of talked about that previously. Let's take a look at this thing. Dude, Jason still looks like Like his head just looks like a dong. It's just really funny. I don't know. Maybe that is another Freudian slip, but it's just what I see, guys. But let's take a look at all these. Man, the one that I just saw is hilarious. We'll take a look at every single one. I don't know why there are 5,000 of these, but let's take a look. So there we go, chopping away. Yeah, the mask still looks terrible. He looks very Scooby-Doo here, right? Very cartoony. Same here. Yeah, I don't like the fact that his forearms are like, what is with his arms here? Why are his arms like a few inches too short? What's going on? He's got these tiny arms. He's got T-Rex arms. Yeah, he just looks kind of odd. Okay, you know, I dig the stuff he's wearing on the back. Like, if you could have that in your, just like hanging up on the wall in the house, like, I think it's pretty cool. I don't think he needs to be wearing it as a backpack. And we're major dong city if you look at the back of his head there. Just major dong city. There he looks surprised. Like, it looks like right here, he just like peed a little bit because he was like, Michael Myers is where? Oh shit. The guy that people actually still respect? Oh my God. And here he's just full on like, yes, sir. And he's talking to Michael. He's talking to Michael there. That's the look he gives when Michael leaves the room. And he's like, yeah, that's right, motherfucker. You walk away. And then Michael's like, huh? And then he goes right back to this look. Oh, we have fun here with the Jason universe. What other malarkey do they have? Guys, Jason Universe Survive the Night official haunted attraction opening this Halloween. This might actually be cool. You guys know I don't do haunted houses, but let me know if you do in the live chat or in the comments. And while you wait for Crystal Lake this October on Peacock, the Jason Universe team has announced that Jason Universe Survive the Night, a brand new officially licensed haunted attraction. The team previews this fall. 13th Floor Entertainment Group is partnering with Horror Inc. to bring Jason Universe to life like never before. Well, yeah, because it's never been brought to life. Really? What do they do? Horror Nights at Universal last year? Maybe something like that. Introducing Jason Universe Survive the Night, an officially licensed haunted attraction that puts you face to face with one of horror's most iconic slashers, Jason Voorhees. So, you know, more of this kind of stuff. And for those brave enough to take control, Jason Universe Director's Cut gives you the chance to step into the director's chair and decide how Jason strikes next. Like in your own haunted house experience or for somebody else. How does that work? Like you pay a little bit more money and you get to sit in the control room? They keep on like repackaging this look of Jason. Like now he's got like bloody chunks on the left lapel. Like guys, this is straight up AI. Like anyone that thinks that that Jason Universe design was not done in AI, like I think every iteration of this was not drawn by a human being. I would be very surprised if it was actually drawn by a human being. Any version of Jason from the Jason Universe that we've seen, seriously. Yeah, the logo looks like the only thing that they actually like made themselves. This looks completely AI, and it looks like it's based on the original AI image, which no one's talking about it. There we go. That's the Jason Malarkey we have, guys. More Jason Malarkey. I'm going to jump on over and see what you guys are saying. I'll give my voice a break here and see if anyone's freaking out as much as I am. Well, since last year. Let's see what else we got going on here. Yes, yeah, they did. They're gonna do that for sure. Okay. Depending on the icon, maybe some of them drink. Well, I just mean, yeah, it's just me being grumpy about it, Paula. I bought the Voodoo Ranger, Michael Myers, and the Angry Orchard Screen Box. Tried one on IPA and they're terrible, but now I can't drink for a year. Well, yeah, you know, and it's of course no shame to anybody that wants to have those as collector items or just for whatever reason. It's just, you know, it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, do they really have to cross market this in the way they do? 67 days until Halloween from Smith's Grove Sanitarium. Hey-o. Me too. I don't think DJ, I don't think that's ever been part of the story. Yeah. I mean, it could be the reason why. Scream just had their own vodka. Well, I think it was Matthew Lillard. I don't, and he got the rights to do that, huh? Because they use Ghostface on there. Must be a sweet kickback to Kevin Williamson. Starting to think we'll never get a new. Well, not if they keep on making the big bucks on Jason Universe, right? Jason and Frank Booth from Blue Velvet would get along. Pabst Blue Ribbon Fire, yes. Oh my gosh, Frank Booth. Is that what we need? We needed another Dennis Hopper slasher franchise crossover, didn't we? This is yikes. The design is just so bad. Yeah. To me, it is, I mean, you can say all advertisement and all marketing is like soulless to a certain regard. I just really, this stuff just kind of hurts, you know? It's true. That's all we're getting. Yep. Yes. Yeah. And it's like, this is like being a fan of a terrible sports franchise, and not just like your team is losing, but your ownership. You're like, oh my God, I can't stand my owner. It's like every time they could do the right thing or the wrong thing, they keep on picking the wrong thing. You know, it's crazy. Already have the game versus Michael ordered from Entertainment Earth. Hell yeah. You know, I don't do haunted houses because they really freak me out. I have a really tough time with it, Christine. I love the safety and protection of watching a movie and knowing that what's on that screen cannot affect me physically. You know, like it can't reach out and touch me. It just, I could watch the most fucked up movie I could watch, right? But I've been to haunted houses as an adult and they freak the hell out of me because I worry about being grabbed and all that kind of, and what I would do if I were grabbed. Or even just, you know, I just haven't liked the way I feel in those situations. It's just way too anxiety inducing for me. Here's a simpler way of saying it, Christine. I'm a big old wiener about it. I'm just a big old wiener about it. They freak me out, man. That scared look, you need Shaggy holding Scoot. Yep, there you go. Zoinks. Knees are flexing, arms T-Rex. And that sounds filthy, but I love it, Linda. What is happening with this Michael obsession? My dad can beat your dad. Well, I mean, it's not even it's just that Michael actually has a friggin' career going still. These guys are just selling booze. Michael is like out there living his best life. Welcome on in, Daniel. Hope you're doing very well. Yeah. But now we're experiencing it like never before. Like we really haven't experienced it. Like you experienced the Jason universe, like what? Drink an Angry Orchard or drink Pabst? Is that experiencing the Jason universe? She's already your lady because she hasn't had a taste of the Duke yet. Or she's only your lady. Dude, Duke's amazing. I wish I loved them as much as you did. Linda, here's the deal. You and I can go hang out. You know, me and your guy will just watch your purse. You can go enjoy the haunted house. Wish the haunted escape rooms trail they had a couple years back were still open. Up in Prescott, they had a game you could do an escape room and a trail to try and escape Jason. Oh, shoot. Okay. That, you know, escape rooms, that sounds pretty fun. I don't know if I'd want Jason chasing me, though. I don't know. I don't do well with those things. That's why I like the movies, guys. Yeah, and you know, I'm sure the ciders were fine, you know, and I'm sure the beer is, you know, I think Voodoo Ranger, like the IPAs, if you're an IPA fan, I think you can enjoy those. Yeah. I just, you know, the cross marketing, I just don't see what it does. We got Pissed Offerson, one of our great channel members, jumping on in to say, I've been sober for 14 years. I don't hate on people that drink, but there's zero chance I'm dropping a dime on alcohol just to have some Jason anything. Exactly. And I don't know. I'm trying not to be too sensitive about it coming from a I don't drink anymore standpoint. Really, I'm just sort of like, to see the icons used this way for booze, like all the other stuff is good and well and fun. But like, guys, you know, even for all the people that are out there enjoying alcohol and not letting it, turn into something negative in their lives, like, we've lost a lot of people because of it. And, that doesn't mean it needs to be taken away completely, but it just means that I've got a certain feeling about seeing these icons used to market it. Yeah, that's all. I'm being a big old prude about it. Yeah, the Jets too. I mean, there's so many of them. The Cleveland Browns, some people could say my team, the Washington Redskins, or whatever they're being called right now. We got Mr. Like It or Not dropping in with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. I really do appreciate you. Says, hey, Davey, and happy Tuesday evening, everyone. R.I.P. Dolly. Yeah, we were talking about that at the very beginning, and it, she lived such a great life, and she did so much good as far as the, the humanitarian effort, dropping the nuggets of wisdom all the time. And she always had the perfect way to, like, just kind of summarize something in a really, like, down home kind of way. And the music, I mean, the songwriting, the performances, I mean, shit, she, acting as well, just an all around massive talent. And yeah, one of one. There are not many out there as iconic as Dolly. Yeah, thank you so much for the tenor, man. I really do appreciate you. Well, the Cowboys, yeah, it's been a while for the Cowboys too. Okay, guys, let's just wrap up here. I could do an escape room, Jamie. I could. I don't know if I could do one if Jason was chasing me. But I guess if they're sort of like, hey, if you don't reach it by this time, then Jason gets in the room. But yeah, an escape room would be fun because I'd love to put my mind to the test, try to solve, riddles and all that kind of stuff, like sort of under the gun in a way, Yeah. H50 Michael's going to have his own beer. Well, but they did do the Michael thing with Voodoo Ranger, and I think the beer they picked was like I think it's like a friggin' pumpkin IPA, which is bizarre. I get a headache just thinking about it. Yeah. I get a headache just thinking. Okay, let's jump on over to, I know some of you want to talk about this, the RoboCop thing. So let's do that. Let's get into some RoboCop talk. Let's see what we got. Guys, Dan Stevens, look at that, will star in Prime Video series as Alex Murphy / RoboCop. This one comes to us by way of John Squires. Let's see what we got. Pop culture icon RoboCop is coming back online with a new series based on the classic dystopian sci-fi action film, and Deadline reports that Dan Stevens will star, and he will play Alex Murphy and RoboCop. In the 8-episode RoboCop television series in the works at Prime Video, a giant tech conglomerate convinces the city to place a powerful robot on its police force, a robot implanted with the consciousness of a beloved fallen officer, Alex Murphy. Peter Ocko will be the writer and showrunner, with James Wan executive producing from Blumhouse Atomic Monster. RoboCop co-creator Ed Neumauer is an executive producer. Quote, I've been a massive fan of RoboCop forever, so getting to help bring this world to television is a dream, said Wan. What Paul Verhoeven created in 1987 was decades ahead of its time, and its questions about technology, identity, and who corporations really serve have only grown more urgent. With Peter's distinctive vision and bold approach to storytelling, and alongside Ed and our partners at Amazon MGM Studios, we're working to honor what made the original iconic and highlight its relevancy in this modern, tech-driven world while building something unmistakably new for a global audience. And they keep on going. Oh my gosh. RoboCop is a franchise that has meant something to audiences for nearly 4 decades, not just as an action spectacle, but as a sharp, provocative mirror of our relationship with technology and power, said Amazon MGM's Peter Friedlander, with no hint of irony, I'm sure. Peter Ocko has crafted a vision that honors the soul of what made the original so enduring while building something entirely fresh and urgent for today. They love that word, urgent. Paired with the cinematic sensibility of James Wan and the team at Blumhouse Atomic Monster, we believe this series will captivate a whole new generation of fans on Prime Video. This is a whole bunch of fucking coach speak. This is politician talk. This shit worries me that they don't seem to really, they can't get to the heart of what RoboCop really is. They're sort of dancing around what RoboCop was because they don't want to piss anyone off. It's questions about technology, identity, and who corporations really serve. There were no questions in the original RoboCop about any of that stuff. You were being told about the dangers of technology, the loss of identity, the loss of humanity at the hands of corporations that are already actively serving those who only wish to keep you down. But they can't say that. So they're like, well, it's like this corporation was like kind of trying to do, you know what I mean? They're pussyfooting around what it really says and what it really is. And yeah, I mean, let's just say it again with no hint of irony. Does this guy say a provocative mirror of our relationship with technology and power? The guy from Amazon said that. Okay. that's some fucking rich shit. Yeah, this is interesting. So okay, sorry guys. Some of these are just going to be more editorial than others, and to give you guys like the real reaction, I don't like read these before I jump in. Maybe I should. Tell me in the chat if you think I should read the articles first, but sometimes I like just being surprised and giving you guys my actual, reaction. And it's, it's been over 10 years here since that remake. I couldn't even finish watching the remake, unfortunately. I had to turn it off. It was so putrid. But yeah, I've got my concerns, guys. I think RoboCop is something that maybe just belongs in the 80s. I think that's, unfortunately, that might be the reality. I usually don't feel that way. I'm not like the kind of person that's like, oh, like just get rid of it. It's never going to be as good as it was. Like I'm not that kind of guy when it comes to a lot of things. I'm pretty forgiving when it comes to reboots and remakes and sequels and franchises and all that. But there's something about RoboCop that is so like 80s and so very like Paul Verhoeven. A lot of his movies were like that, like really did put a mirror on the ugliness in society and pretty much call it out for exactly what it was. And sometimes do it in a really funny and usually very entertaining way. Like I think Paul Verhoeven is really sharp, satirical, on point, and then still gives you a show. Like if you don't want to pay attention to what he's saying about society or whatever, his movies are still fun, and I don't know if we're really there in the current climate. I don't know if we have filmmakers that can really do that, storytellers that can really do that. I worry that like RoboCop is sort of a character out of time, especially if they're not going to take it head on, if they're going to play the Amazon game of being like, well, we're going to like rip on corporations, but we're one, so we're going to be kind of nice about it. I worry that it's not going to have any teeth. And as far as that, the sociological message goes, it might be really bloody and it might be very adult and everything, but I feel like it's not going to have very much teeth as far as being saying anything about the kind of world we live in. And then I do worry about Dan Stevens. I don't really like him very much as a performer. And I know maybe that's just me. I don't like his, when he does an American accent, I have a really tough time with it. Might work for RoboCop because RoboCop doesn't really need to sound like, he doesn't sound like a regular guy. But I noticed it with Ewan McGregor in The End of Oak Street. I've noticed it with Benedict Cumberbatch when he does Doctor Strange, although I think he's pretty good at it. I don't know. And not every Brit is going to be like Tom Holland, where they just like nail these American accents, or Joseph Quinn, right? He's really good at those American accents. Some of them are just not like, to me. I know Dan Stevens is a very celebrated performer. I know a lot of people think he's, super hot or really like him in his movies, and that's totally fair. I don't find that his performances do it for me, and I don't find that his I don't know. I get a weird vibe. So I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I also get a weird vibe about the show because I feel like it's going to be, I feel like the political, sociological message is going to be nerfed. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. I know that was a big old diatribe. I love RoboCop so much. The character is really near and dear. That original movie is one of my favorites. I think it's better than Die Hard. I think it's better than Predator. Like, I would put it right up against the original Terminator, and it might even beat that just because it's so much fun to me. So yeah, I really I love this character so much, and I'm so sick of seeing it be done wrong since the second movie. It's just been bad over and over again. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. I'm going to check it out in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Talk me off the Dan Stevens cliff. All right, let's see what you guys got here for, let's see here. It's true. It is funny. It is kind of funny in that way. Nathan says, my church youth group once visited a haunted house back in the 80s. One of my friends kept taunting the actors, shouting that all you got. Oh, Jamie, have you ever played a game called Mind Trap? It's a board game. They're really cool. I think my family has Mind Trap too. It's puzzles that truly test you. There's only one RoboCop to me. It's Peter Weller. Yeah, and I mean, if they can get everything else right, again, Dan Stevens, as I was saying it, as I was like talking it out, I'm like, well, he doesn't need to sound like he doesn't have to have a great American accent. His voice is gonna be augmented because that's how RoboCop sounds. So I'm like, okay, so this might be perfect. This might be the perfect thing for me to watch Dan Stevens in. But really, I think it's like, RoboCop 2 is a good sequel. It's not great, but it's a good sequel. But I think they really lost like the essence of what made RoboCop work after the second movie. I mean, you can say part of that's Peter Weller, sure. Like I would have rather him kept on playing RoboCop, but really I just think it's like the tone and the writing just took a really weird turn so far away. When he dies this time, are they going to keep his hand again or go with his foot? Oh my God. Well, it's funny. They kept his hand in the remake. Why did they do that? Like in the original, it totally makes sense where he's just like lose the whole arm, get rid of the whole damn thing. I saw RoboCop in the theater. Man, I did not, Jamie, but I will say this. I remember us watching it, like my parents renting it and watching it right when it came out on VHS. That was one of those movies. I got to see, a lot of R-rated movies at home. My parents were pretty... It was like as long as I was watching with them, they were cool with it, that kind of thing. Probably wouldn't have let me watch RoboCop without him there. Yeah. Is it just me or is it extremely ironic that Amazon? Yeah. Right? Yeah. They can't actually go after corporations. That's why I call it coach speak. They're just saying, yeah, we're bringing you the same subversive nature of the movie. Bullshit. Like movies can be way more subversive than a TV show because movies don't have to get renewed for another season or like bring viewers back like for 2 months, I mean, it helps your movie if you can do that, but you don't have to. But a series, dude, this is going to be like corporations are bad, like the most surface level fucking bullshit. Like not even like first semester of college surface level, not even like now I know everything about the way the world works because the rich people are the bad people. Like not even that. That's probably the level we're going to get, It's going to be very black and white and very dumb, right? Because I think thinking about things in a black and white way, I'm just going to go and say it, very dumb. Liz, how are you doing, Miss? Welcome on in, one of our great channel members, Miss Liz. I feel like now is perfect timing for a RoboCop reboot, and there is a lot to dive into if they do it. Yes, Linda, I agree that it's never a bad time to tell these stories. In fact, regardless of like where we're at as a country, who's in charge, all that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, the fact that RoboCop, the original, is timeless tells us that it's always appropriate for that sort of examination to the powers that be. Always appropriate. And in fact, if you ever find yourself feeling like it's not appropriate or not worth it, then I don't know. Then I would say no. We always need to be on the lookout because the sneaky sneaks are always being sneaky sneak. So yeah, I mean, I think there's never a bad time if you're going to do it right. Like, let's really go for it. But there's something about Amazon being involved that's like, oh shit, oh god damn it. I don't know. I was gonna make a reference, but I was like, I don't want to talk about how much, Thank you for not smoking. I am not smoking. That's right. Awesome. I love it, Jamie. Thank you. I appreciate that. And sometimes maybe I'm a little bit boring with my honest reactions, but that time I was genuinely like, oh, what? Like I was surprising myself with how it was just coming out as I was reading this article. Yeah, there was an old TV show. Yeah. Oh, Bob became, I saw the first few seasons of that show, but then I totally fell off. I think it's still going. Paul Verhoeven's from Holland. Like, I know it is a Dutch name, right? I guess I didn't know he was actually from there. Paul Verhoeven's great. I think his movies are really like subversively comedic, like a nice dark kind of comedy that just sort of shines a light on the absurdity. I really dig that one. RoboCop rescued Sting and W's. Is that why you guys are talking WCW in the chat here? You hated the remake, Dem's fighting words, sir. Yeah, I couldn't even get through it. It bummed me out so bad I had to turn it off. I was like, did they really just have Samuel L. Jackson? It's the same set he uses for his old Capital One commercials. They just kept him on that set and had him shoot his role. And then I just don't know. Again, like, there was something that they said here in this article. What was it that they said that really kind of threw me for a loop? Oh, I mean, it sounds like a remake. So why? What are we doing? Are we just telling a remake of the original movie? Right? Because let's see here. The 8-episode season is in the works at Prime Video. A giant tech conglomerate convinces the city to place a powerful robot on its police force. I mean, the only thing they didn't tell us that the conglomerate is also trying to run the city and take over its police force, which I guess is part of the movie. But also, just because they didn't mention it doesn't mean it's not happening. The character's name is Alex Murphy. This is going to be an 8-episode remake of the original show, or the original movie, and I just worry that it's not going to have those teeth that Paul Verhoeven and the rest of his team gave it. They did such a good job telling that story. I understand that maybe we need a recap or something, and I don't even know. Is it going to be the original version of RoboCop? Is it going to be that 87 version? Is it going to be based a whole new idea? Is it going to be based on the remake? Like, we don't even know what RoboCop's going to look like, right? So, yeah, there's a lot of questions here, and I understand that they would want to like show that origin again, but I really hope that the 8 episodes of the show isn't just a straight remake, but that's where it sounds like we're going, unfortunately, just based on what we know now, and what we know now is pretty limited. So I can only react to that, and as more news comes in, and I know this is technically like sci-fi, but it is again near and dear to my heart, and it's bloody enough that I'm just going to go ahead and count it. Yeah, dude, the He-Man movie was really cool. I really liked Masters of the Universe. It's not going to change your life, but it's a really fun shut your brain off and enjoy a popcorn movie. Yeah. Well, I just mean the first movie, the first RoboCop versus the first Terminator movie. For me, it is actually pretty close. Just those two movies against each other. They're very different movies, but they're both quintessential kind of 80s sci-fi action at the same time. Okay, but nothing will ever be as bad as David Boreanaz trying to do an Irish accent. Dude, it's so bad. Well, and how about James Marsters as, is it Marsters? Is that his last? I think it's, sorry if I fucked it up. His British accent's great. I thought the dude was British. I had no idea. It's just like hearing him in an interview, I was like, what? The dude just has a blank West Coast accent like I do? Spike is just an American? Because the accent is so good. It is like, and granted, I'm not from the UK, so sometimes we can be tricked into thinking an accent's good. I just think that's the thing. When it's not your accent, it's a little easier to fool. But there does seem to be something so like authentic sounding about Spike's accent. It's crazy. Such a baby at haunted houses. Liz, you are, guys, Liz has a gaming channel, and Liz, you are such a baby when you play your game. But I love it. It's like at any point you can be like listening to or watching or listening to Liz stream, and then out of nowhere, it's just, I don't even want to try to imitate the sound because I'm worried that I'm going to blow the microphone up if I do. But guys, you just have to go over and check it out for yourself. Hilarious, awesome, adorable reactions. Let's see here. What else do we have? My concerns are definitely valid, Davey. I really hope they put together the right team to actually. I hope so too. And I hope that I want it to be good, Linda. I want you guys to know that too. That just because if I get a bad feeling about something, it doesn't mean it's going to be bad. I've gotten good feelings about things and then they ended up not being good, at least to me, like Evil Dead Burn. and Ice Cream Man. You know, both of those movies disappointed me, and I thought they were looking good up until I actually saw the thing, right? So I want I want all of these properties to succeed, but I want them to succeed because they're done really well, right? I think all of us want that. So yeah, I'm rooting for it. I'm not going to be a jerk about Dan Stevens. In fact, like I said earlier, I think I'm going to roll with maybe this can be the role of his that kind of wins me over, right? Because it is going to be something totally different for him as a performer. And I'm really curious, really what I want to see, Linda, and I think what we all want to see is which design of RoboCop are we going with? Are we going to go back to the classic? Are we going to do something new? Are we just going to make little changes to the classic so it just feels a little more new, but it's not the weird, you know, suit that they used in the remake? Yeah, all of that stuff I'm very curious to know. And yeah, I know it's Amazon. I don't expect them to really swing too hard, but it would be wild if they did. I love seeing daring art like that, where people really like have something to say, you know, and say the uncomfortable thing in a way that is very like, yeah, I said that, not in a like, I hope people get that, you know, like, come on out and say it. Like, we all know how it is with OCP in the original movie, you know. Remember the Marlboro Man versus Harley Davidson? Aren't you glad we didn't get RoboCop versus Terminator? Well, we did in a video game. The video games can be fun. Yeah. It can be fun. I love it. I love the back and forth over well, David Boreanaz is not very good. You know, of an actor, I think. That was supposed to say, well, it looks like we're going to be friends after all, Richard. Not bad. You know, autocorrect can be a pain in the ass crime scene. It really can. Watched RoboCop for the first time a couple years ago, and I was surprised I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Yeah, Ty, every year, I watch it once a year, and I think it's aged so incredibly well, and I find that I enjoy it more and more as time goes on. What's not to love? Like, you know, seriously, I point at something, you know, for anyone that doesn't like it, or even if you're lukewarm, I'm sort of like, well, what is wrong with it? You know, and I get that you could say, well, nothing's wrong with it. I didn't love it. It's like, okay, I get it. But I'm just trying to, like, I'm looking around because I'm looking around in my brain trying to find something about the movie that's not good. And I'm like, well, the music's great. The effects are great. The performances are awesome. The writing's fantastic. I don't know. Like, to me, RoboCop is like a 4 or a 4.5 star movie. No joke. Yeah. No joke. There was, yeah. Yeah, I think it was on all the 16-bit systems. If it's been a while, Liz, it's so much fun to go back and watch. It is hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, Daniel, both of those guys in that movie. Yeah, he'll have an Amazon. Nathan, he's gonna be delivering packages. He's gonna be driving around one of those box trucks. Oh my gosh! 1-day delivery. You're coming with me. Same-day delivery. You're coming with me. If you buy $25 worth of eligible items, your order will be shipped free tomorrow between 4 and 8 a.m. Drop it. Well, James Marsden is the guy from X-Men, right? And I think it's James Marsters is the guy that played Spike. It's very confusing with these James and their Mars names. I hold them accountable, Lito. I hold them accountable. How's it going, Eli? Welcome on in, man. So great to see you, bud. One of our great channel members, Death Squad mods, and a good bud. What's happening, Swift? Welcome on in, man. Hope you're doing very, very well, brother. I'm always a baby. Thanks for that. Of course, Liz, of course. Yeah, Liz is doing the Road to the Ocarina of Time remake, so she's playing a lot of Zelda right now. I'd buy that for $1. What's happening, Ryan? Welcome on in, my good bud, Ryan Michael. Oh, Rymai dropping a $5 super chat. Thank you so very much, man. Yeah, I don't know. Ryan, I'm not sure if you caught everything I said about this show. I read the article blind without having known anything about it before. And it just seems like yeah, we're going to talk about like how bad corporations are. And I'm like, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will, Amazon. Ryan, so great to see you, man. Hope all is well. And yeah, let me know what you think about this RoboCop. Do we have RoboCop malarkey? Gosh, I hope not. Okay, guys, I do want to cover, there were a couple other things that I just want to jump into. I'd feel bad if I didn't, okay? I'm having a blast, just kind of talking whatever with you guys about all this RoboCop stuff. But this one's really quick. Terrifier Funko Pop. Now, I know we got our Terrifier folks that visit the channel. And I know that for some of us, myself included, Terrifier, if I didn't have a channel, maybe I wouldn't watch him. Not my cup of tea. Kind of glad I did watch him. I actually really liked Terrifier 3. It's my favorite one so far. And right here, we've got a Terrifier 3 Jonathan Shaw toy from Funko. And this thing's pretty hardcore. It says company's craziest toys to date. One of them, yeah, it might be. And this is interesting, guys, because they're, I don't know if this closes the door on Jonathan, because I guess this is spoilers if you haven't seen Terrifier 3, but whatever. I'm sure at this point, if you haven't seen it, you probably don't care about it. But yeah, they pretty much insinuate that Jonathan has been killed. However, they don't like completely like let you know for sure. But does this solidify that scene from Terrifier 3? So let's find out, guys. Funko has released a handful of vinyl toys based on the Terrifier franchise in recent years, a few of them pushing boundaries for the company, and they're typically adorable collectibles based on iconic pop culture characters. And their latest Terrifier 3 toy pushes those boundaries even further. As you probably recall, Art the Clown presents Sienna Shaw with her dead brother Jonathan Shaw's severed skeletal head in the final act of Damien Leone's Terrifier 3. Well, there it is. I didn't have to say anything, revealing to both Sienna and the audience that the killer clown has massacred Jonathan. It's always possible that Art was playing a trick on Sienna, of course, but for now, it seems Jonathan Shaw is very much dead, and that's what I'm talking about, guys, because a lot of folks were sort of like, oh, that's just, they're faking him out, right? But this Funko Pop here, let's take a look. I'm just going to bring it up to its own little image, its own little window here. Let's take a look at that. That is how it appears, other than the cuteness factor, that is how he appears in Terrifier 3. So I guess since they're saying Jonathan Shaw right there on the box, I don't know. What does this mean, guys? What does this mean? Especially for the Terrifier fans that are watching this after the fact, I need to know. In your head, does this mean, okay, that means it's canon? Like Damien gave him the go ahead and was like, yeah, Jonathan really is dead? Or is it like, well, no one's ever really dead in these horror movies. It's like a friggin' soap opera. Like we can say that this is Jonathan Shaw and then in the next movie be like, psych, it was actually some rando and Jonathan's still alive. I don't know. I just thought this was worth bringing up because of that. Also, it is a very wild vinyl pop figure. So if you're, if you like to collect these Funko characters or these Funko, pop vinyl dolls like this, I would imagine this thing is going to be pretty valuable because anything Terrifier is going to sell really well. And this thing is pretty out there and pretty unhinged. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know, guys. Let me know in the chat, is Jonathan really dead or is he going to come back and help Gabby and Sienna fight the evil hordes? Let me know. All right, what do we got from you guys here? Thank you for sharing that, Eli. I appreciate you. You are so welcome, Daniel. You're very sweet for thanking us every time, but you know what, man? It's our pleasure, man. Thank you for hanging out with us. How about that? We're gonna have it go both ways. Jason X versus RoboCop. Let's go. Okay, yeah, I would watch Jason versus RoboCop. That could be fun. That could be really fun. Hope we get a sequel to Rogue City. Oh, the video game. Yeah, I hadn't played that one, but it looked really good, and I love that they go back to the old, like the original RoboCop look to me is so timeless. I don't see that design and think, oh, that's so 80s. You know what I mean? And I guess that could be like an old person thing to do, but I really think that, the game sort of proved that, it's similar to like the Terminator design. It's a timeless kind of thing, right? You just mentioned an aspect we hadn't talked about yet, the music. The Basil Poliduris score to RoboCop is incredible. Oh my dude, the music is so good in RoboCop. That theme alone is great, but just everything with the music is incredible. Yeah. I mean, dude, RoboCop, 4 stars, 4.5 maybe. It's one of the best. I think I do too with the first Terminator. It's so close to me, Ty. Like, I just think it's kind of worth talking about because I still to this day, I mean, you said you just recently watched it for the first time. My buddy Jason over at Backtrack Cinema, we did a video on it over on his channel. And he was like, man, you really love this movie. He's like, I think it's okay. But also I think he had sort of said like, it's not one that he like really watched a lot or hasn't revisited too much. And I'm like, oh dude, like, I mean, I loved it as a kid, but over the last like 12 to 15 years, I've been in this love affair with RoboCop, watching it every year. I just love the movie so much. And just, I don't want people to forget that it's really damn good. Marsters. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I thought it was. Marsters. Marsden Marsters. God damn it, James. Actually, the score to RoboCop, Starship Troopers, and Basic Instinct are all amazing. Verhoeven had an ear for good music. Yeah, no, he did. Yeah, Verhoeven's really good. And I can't think of the Total Recall soundtrack right now, but Total Recall is fucking crazy. Like, dude, Verhoeven's really good. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I just couldn't keep track of the damn. Yeah, that is Marsden. Yes. He can take out porch pirates. Yes. Drop it. 1-day delivery. If you order $25 worth of eligible items, your order will be shipped from 4 to 8 in the morning, free of charge. Drop it. Oh my goodness. I don't know why, but I want RoboCop to deliver packages for Amazon now, guys. Okay. Way more exciting at my screen. A Dewey Scream Pop. From which movie, Linda? Which movie? This is clearly a different Jonathan. Well, it's yeah, because they melted his head all crazy. Yeah, it is nuts, huh? I thought he was dragged to hell at the end of the third movie. No, they just we just don't see what happens to him. It's all off screen, and then we see the head. That's why technically they could take it all back if they want to. But that's why I think the toy sort of puts it in a weird realm there. Nathan says, I hate this kind of merchandising. Nothing screams, these are just movies like bobbleheads and Funko Pops. It's true. I mean, yeah, you know, I get you, Nathan, and I hear what you're saying. I feel the same way to a certain degree, as there is a preciousness that we have with like the, you know, the movies that we love and the genre that we love. And that, you know, us as horror fans, we're outsiders as far as like, we like something that is not always mainstream. Very rarely is horror truly mainstream. That's why we celebrate when movies like Obsession do well, or when, you know, somebody like Demi Moore gets nominated for a movie like The Substance. You know, we celebrate those things because they don't come very often, and we know that we're fringe as far as our tastes go with those movies. So I get it. You feel that preciousness, and the marketing and everything sort of sullies the waters a little bit and just makes it seem, like I was saying about the booze stuff, I think it just makes it seem a little more soulless and everything like that. I think, you know, we have to walk as audience members and as fans of something that is usually fringe. We have to walk this tightrope of, you know, wanting the thing that we love to succeed and realizing that there's a business element to it. And yeah, sometimes they give us exactly what we want, but if they can get a little more juice out of the squeeze, they're going to try. You know, I will say this, at least for Funko, it's very easy to like ignore the Funko stuff. You know what I mean? I find you're not going to go to a Walmart and see this Funko like on this huge end cap display, but you could go to Walmart and see Jason selling you Pabst Blue Ribbon at the end cap of an aisle, you know? So, but I hear you, man. I totally hear you. It takes a little bit of the mystery away, but I think they're appealing to the collector side of horror fans. And man, I mean, people love collecting. Horror fans are obsessed with collecting, and Terrifier fans, I mean, forget it, dude. Terrifier fans are rabid. I mean, I mean that as a compliment. I mean, they love the thing they love. You know, they're very passionate and driven. So I totally get what you're saying, and I understand why the people that have the rights to make the money are trying to make the money. Dude, it's so depressing. I launched into a big old thing. Yeah, it's brutal. I would love to see an animated adaptation of the RoboCop versus Terminator Dark Horse comic series. That would be really cool. Yeah. Even a cool like motion comic. I think those can be really cool too, Swift. Scott Norris. Hello from Toronto. Or sorry. I'm sorry, Scott. Tirana. I think that's the right way to say it? Hi from Tirana. Welcome on in, Scott. I appreciate you. You know, I don't know how many Canadians we have that watch us on the reg, or, you know, how many Canadians we have watching us now. I saw a video the other day from a Canadian that I think he's been either living in the States for a while or he's visited over here a handful of times. And he was talking about the animosity between the citizenry of the United States and Canada. And he was saying like Americans don't even like, it doesn't even occur to them. And I was like, wait, do Canadians think we don't like them? I was like, well, that would suck if that's true. I don't know anyone that doesn't like Canadians. I like Canadians. Is that a thing? If you're Canadian, you got to let me know. Is the perception that people from the United States don't like you guys? Because I think we do. And I'm a big nerd for a lot of things Canadian. Canadian comedians, love them. Musicians, love them. The band is one of the greatest bands of all time. Propaganda is one of my favorite bands of all time. You know, just all the great contributions from like the arts and everything. And I think like a lot of us, or at least those of us that are nerdy, are totally aware of it. So I just wanted to give some flowers to the Canadian folks that I know that out in the world, or just that watch the channel. I hope that's not true, that's the perception. And I just want to say that, at least as far as I can tell from the people I know, that we don't feel any sort of way about you guys like that. So anyways, welcome on in, Scott. Scott's going to be like, it's actually Toronto in some other country. It's a different Toronto, dude. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, I do have one more that I really want to get to, guys. Because I'd feel bad if I didn't, because Scout Taylor Compton and Danielle Harris teamed up to direct this movie called Last Chance Motel. And it's got Heather Langenkamp. It's got a whole bunch of other people in it. And I just saw I don't know what it was, the trailer or something on Instagram yesterday. Just became aware of it. Now I'm seeing it everywhere, guys. So I wanted to just highlight this because, you know, I think we all love Scout and Danielle. Scout has been directing quite a bit. I love seeing that her career is it's opened up into that realm. And it looks like it's something that she just has completely fallen in love with. And I love seeing that for her. So I love seeing them team up. That's great. Love seeing Heather come back, and just, you know, it's cool when these folks that we've seen in movies for decades and decades all get together and do a little something together. So I just want to make sure everything's up on the screen. Do you guys want to take a look at this trailer together? Have you guys heard about this movie? If you haven't watched Terrifier, I'd say I did not have any appreciation for the movies until Terrifier 2. Yeah. And Terrifier 2 is really long. Yeah, the first movie's and the second one's really long. I think that's why 3 was just right, even though it's still a little too long. Man, that Halloween game is going to be so much damn fun. Christmas comes a little early for us horror fans. We get the Halloween game, then the next month you get the Crystal Lake show. It's going to be amazing. Unfortunately, Scream 2022, I'll take what I can get, though. They're dropping Gale and Sid, too. Well, I mean, at some point, they're going to do some sort of, you know, have they already done the older, the previous films versions of Dewey? And they just sold out, maybe. Given Yeah, Terrifier, just buckle up for a long movie. But it is a lot better than the first movie, for sure. Show. Wesley, thank you so much for jumping on in, man. Thank you for being a channel member. And yeah, appreciate you, bud. All is well over here. Hope all is well with you. Okay, let's jump into I Love Poutine and Keanu. What's happening, Ben Grimm, one of our great channel members? All right, let's jump in and take a look at this. Last Chance Motel. We got this article coming to us by way of John Squires, who is a total stand-up dude. John and I had a really funny back and forth last week on Twitter because I was basically like, yo, why does Bloody Disgusting keep on calling Evil Dead 2013 a remake when it's clearly not a remake? I'm like, stop this nonsense. And I tagged him and Bloody Disgusting, and he had the greatest response. He was like, it was sort of just like a shrug where he was like, yeah, he's like, you're not wrong. It's technically not a remake, but they called it that at first, and I just still call it that. But yeah, you're not wrong. I was like, I wrote right back. I was like, John, you're a stand-up guy, man. I was like, I mean it in good fun and everything like that, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, oh, I totally get you. And I was like, I love what you guys do over there. And then he ended up giving me a follow. So stand-up guy, John Squires. Anywho, Last Chance Motel. When a dream wedding spirals into a blood-soaked nightmare in the upcoming Last Chance Motel, which was written and directed by Halloween franchise favorite Scout Taylor Compton and Danielle Harris. Taylor Compton and Harris also star in the motel horror movie. Debuted by Fangoria this week, watch the official Last Chance Motel trailer below. And this one is releasing on October 6th, 2026, and it follows a newlywed couple whose dream wedding spirals into a bloody nightmare when they uncover that their secluded venue, a desolate motel deep in the Nevada desert, is run by a relentless, bloodthirsty family with dark secrets. Described as a pulse-pounding psychological thriller with horror elements, the film pays homage to classic slashers while injecting a modern psychological twist. Heather Langenkamp, Sierra McCormick, Zachary Ruzin, Robert Allen Mukes, and Monica Keena also star. All right, we've got a whole bunch of fun horror alumni here. Quote, we knew exactly what kind of film the genre is missing right now. A tight, mean, character-driven slasher that doesn't apologize for being horror, said Harris. Quote, we've been on the receiving end of the camera for 40 years between us. We know it works. We know what fans actually want to see. Last Chance Motel is built from that DNA. And Scout Taylor Compton says, horror has always been the genre that holds a mirror up to what scares us most. And right now, audiences are hungry for stories that feel both visceral and personal. Last Chance Motel is a film I'm incredibly proud of, and I think it speaks to something universal, the idea that danger can hide in the most ordinary places. She goes on to say that she and Danielle are they poured everything into this as producers, as directors, as performers, and they genuinely believe, or Scout genuinely believes, it's a film that will stay with you long after the credits roll. I'm pumped for the ladies, and I think we need more of this kind of stuff where performers are going out there and making something that they think, not that they think horror fans want to see, but that they know because they've been at the conventions talking to us, all that kind of stuff. So you guys want to take a look at the trailer here? Dude, it's unreasonable, I would say. I would say the way Scout looks is unreasonable. It's just, come on, just stop it, miss. It's unfair. The Benjamin Button thing needs to stop. Yeah, I've always been a fan. I mean, and you're relatively close to them. I grew up very close to Canada, literally on the other side of the Juneau ice field. Yeah, just right there. Yeah, has everyone slashed the like button and also subbed? Guys, I want to hit 5,000 before the end of the year. It's going to be really tough if not everybody subscribes. Come on. Come on, get on board. Luke, what's happening, man? Welcome on in. Great seeing you over on Mega Movie Mike's channel. I think that's I was trying to remember the order of the M's. Yes. Okay, let's check out the trailer. Yeah, let me pause the music and we will check out the trailer. I watched a little bit, like a snippet. It was on my phone. It was terrible. You know, like David Lynch says, it's bullshit. You just can't watch it on your phone. But I watched a snippet and it was, guys, I just got to say, the Heather Langenkamp, like sweet Southern accent is amazing. Okay. Ooh, they got a poster. We'll check out the artwork after. Let's check out the trailer right now. I know it tries to blow our balls off every time. You got to turn the volume down like halfway. Okay, guys, here we go. This is the trailer for Last Chance Motel. This one is releasing October 6th, 2026. Here we go.
Let me know.
Jesus, Andy!
I'm serious, Case. Tell her to slow down or we're gonna spend your rehearsal then her hitchhiking.
You just tell him that I'm excited to marry his sister's sweet little ass.
Let's get the show on the road.
Well, hi, y'all! Welcome to the Last Chance Motel.
Weddings have a way of making certain kinds of people crazy.
Yes, we're at Last Chance Motel and someone is trying to kill us!
Let's go get them bitches.
Really, you fucking kid?
Hey, girls. Will you be little dolls and sit up straight when I shoot you so I don't damage those organs? I just love weddings.
All right. Sorry, I had to bring the mic back. Let's bring this in. I figured we could, kind of watch while I talk here. So, Heather Langenkamp, I mean, it just looks like she's having such a blast, right? Like, I love seeing that because, we just, outside of the Elm Street series, we haven't gotten a lot of Heather, So I love seeing her having a lot of fun. I think there's something about, there's probably a summer camp vibe here. I just mean like the crew and the way everyone feels when you're working with all these alumni from various franchises and everything like that. The movie looks good. Scout really like the camera setups and the composition. I really dig that. The effects look really fun. I mean, right here, this is like total end of Rob Zombie's Halloween, like the pool and everything. The dude even looks like he's the same size as Tyler Mane from that movie. Totally wild. I mean, it's got to be a straight up homage. And then, I mean, speaking of homage, it feels very Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? That kind of, and also maybe a little bit of that Rob Zombie influence with the Firefly family and everything like that. But that to me is kind of derivative of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So yeah, I don't know, pretty creative, pretty fun looking. I think if this movie is like no longer than an hour and 35 minutes, hour 37 is probably as far as I'm willing to go. I think that would be like for this kind of movie, that would be the right way to go. Let's do a kind of not get in, get out, but like, let's go ahead and tell the story we got and not linger too long. But I'm curious to know what you guys think in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments. Let me know. Are you going to be checking out Last Chance Motel when this thing drops on October 6th? I don't know. You guys let me know. I'm going to jump on back over to the live chat, see what the heck they are saying. Once I can figure out what the heck I'm doing with myself over here. All right, there we go, guys. I think we got through pretty much everything. Really, the only other thing, I know I put Resident Evil on the thumbnail, guys. Really, I just wanted to talk about how the hype is real. There are these little ads that are being dropped. Most of the time you'll just see them on your phone. I don't feel the need to bring up like a phone ad and try to show you guys that here. And also, like, I understand that not everyone wants to watch trailers, especially if it's something that you're really interested in seeing. If you happen to really want to check out Zach Kreger's, Resident Evil. But man, there are these little you know, commercials, clips, little advertisements going on out there that just really give a video game vibe. Like it feels like you're watching the game. The camera is like right on the shoulder pretty much. I don't know. I've got such a good feeling about this movie. I really do. And I'm so pumped to check it out. I think there are people that are sort of like don't know really what to think, and it seems to me that like a large part of the at least the vibe I'm getting mostly from the folks that come from more of the gamer side and lesser from the horror film side is that there's more trepidation about it not being based on a game. And I had the same concerns going into this thing. It was one of the things I was wrong about. I was like, why isn't he basing it on a game? Like, we've already had a bunch of these movies that fuck with the story from the games. Like, why are we still doing that? And then as the pieces started falling into place and I started seeing what he was doing and listening to what he was saying, and the fact that those two things were like making perfect sense to me, I was like, oh, I was totally wrong to think that, because it's actually the most brilliant thing to do something totally fresh and new. So anyways, I'm just really pumped for Resident Evil. The hype is real, guys. The hype is real, and I'm ready to be hurt again. Please don't suck. Please don't suck, Resident Evil. Please. You're all I have. It's been a bummer summer. It's been terrible. Guys, tell me what's one good horror movie that's come out between June, July, and August. Name one. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to name one. Anywho, that's the news, guys. Look at that. Hour and 52 minutes. Most of it was the news. Some of it was just blah, blah, blahing in between. But let's hang out for a few. And then, yeah, we'll figure out. I don't know. What do you guys want to do tomorrow? What do you guys want to do for late night with the Davey tomorrow? You know what I mean, Tia. You know what I mean. Our collective balls are going to be blown off. We, the everyone, we do have balls. How about that? Yeah, very TCM, right? Yeah, looks freaky. How's it? Yes, exactly. Yeah, that Texas Chainsaw in a Motel. Yeah, exactly. And it makes sense, right? Like Scout worked with Rob very closely, you know, so totally makes sense that there's that influence there. Yeah, Lito, what is it like for you as a huge, as a huge Elm Street fan, seeing Heather in a role like that? Is that pretty wild? I mean, to me, it looks like she's having fun, you know? I love that technology has gotten to a point where creatives are only handcuffed by their imaginations now. The convention circuit and social media outlets can carry a large part of the promotions. And yeah, and, you know, movies like this, I don't think this movie was crowdfunded, but there are movies all the time that, you know, these folks who have been in the industry and they're like, we just want to make our own movie. You know, and they actually do just reach out to the fans and help make it all happen, right? Now, Scout doesn't necessarily have to do that because she's been proving herself as a director for, I think it's been a couple years now. It could be even more, and I just only became aware of it, right? So, yeah, I do think it's really cool as well, Swift. It's it really is about, yeah, the handcuffed by your imagination, and then, you know, at some point when you're working in the studio system, it is sort of like, well, what are the budgetary shackles, and then, you know, how much are you going to try, how much is the studio going to try to interfere, you know, because you know, the more money people put in, you know, the more right technically they have to influence the way the product works out. Well, and that's what I was asking, Billy, is like, Jonathan's fate is unconfirmed, but if the Funko Pop is legit, and if the Funko Pop is like canonically tied to the film, I don't know. Yes, it's unreasonable. It does look like a ride. Yeah, it looks fun. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I get all of that for sure. Yeah, and I guess the spin will be, why are they doing it, if there is a why? You know, they showed quite a bit in the trailer. So I'm like, is that it? Or is there something else going on? And to me, it feels like there's got to be something else going on. You know, or this really will just be a watch once and it'll be like, oh, that was kind of cool to see the movie they made, but it didn't really stick with me. But I would rather have it be something that's got a little more to reveal. Yeah. It really does feel like that, huh? Well, and then how strange is it? Like, it occurred to me while we're watching it, I'm like, man, on the day that we lost Dolly, and then it seems like Heather is kind of channeling a little bit of that vibe, you know? Me too, Jamie. It looks so good. Oh my God. I think, honestly, guys, I think it's going to be like the way it's looking. To me, it looks better than Barbarian and Weapons so far. You know, those movies were like good to me, but not, I wasn't like completely in love with them, you know, but this RE movie looks really good. Oh, Billy boy. I'm not going to speculate on, you know, there's going to be like an appropriate time to revisit that conversation. We're really not there yet. And I don't think anyone would, I think talking about like having a stand-in play a role is, I don't think we'll ever get there. You know, I don't think that would ever be appropriate. I'm happy for Heather. She deserves to work more. Yeah. And I know she's really wanted it. She's really good. I think Heather's great. I think underutilized by the industry for sure. And yeah, this just looks like a blast. Like, looks like she's having a lot of fun. So I love seeing that. Me too, Swift. I have a feeling it's going to be that it could be the best horror movie of the year. However, Hokum is my favorite of the year so far, and the second one's pretty far away. You know, I think I'm going to go Hokum, The Bone Temple, and then Obsession for my top 3 right now. But Obsession, I could see easily getting bumped. You know, Obsession's good. Don't get me wrong, guys. I just got to be honest. I can't manufacture love that isn't there, but I do think it's a really good movie. I would shake Curry Barker's hand. Yeah. I don't think they would either. Yeah. I think that's all I got. Let's see here. That's all we got this time, unless something else just popped up here. You never know. Let me check it out here. Is anyone going to see Onslaught or Buddy? I think Joe from Media Poop Shoot, he's good putting together a review for Buddy. He saw it last night. So I don't want to say anything about what he told me about the movie, but I've heard from about 5 different people about it. And it's like, I'm curious. I just don't know if I'm curious enough to actually watch it based on what I've heard. So it's one of those things where it's been like mixed, but mixed to positive. I don't know. Are you guys going to see Buddy? It's this weekend, right? And then, oh my gosh, Acme versus Coyote. That's this weekend too. I know that's not horror, but I heard that's amazing. And I really want to see that one. Have a great night, Liz. Thank you so much for hanging out. And thank you so much for being a channel member as well. I hope you have an awesome night of sleep and that you wake up feeling so well rested and ready to kick the day's ass. Take care. Hey, sorry, I'm like late or like super uber late. Carrie, you're totally all right. It's great to see you. One of our amazing channel members and Death Squad mods. Carrie craves cinema. Yeah, we're just about to wrap up, Carrie, but no worries. I kind of did this at the last minute because the news was piling up and I was like, oh shoot, I don't want to wait another day. I don't want to wait. You know, all that kind of stuff. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this one though. But guys, I will be back tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern. I have no idea what we're going to do. Are we going to do Night of the Creeps watch party tomorrow? Night of the Creeps watch party, 40th anniversary. Is that what we're doing tomorrow? I don't know. 40th anniversary. Now it could be cool. It could be cool. I know I want to watch it at some point this week. Do you guys want to watch Night of the Creeps tomorrow, or do you want it on the weekend? Everybody's working for the weekend. Do like a metal version of it. Anyways, I'll put a poll out there for you guys. You know how I love my polls. I'll put a poll out there just asking if you want to do Night of the Creeps during the week or on the weekend. How about that? You guys are amazing. Shout out to everyone that dropped a super chat. We got Paula dropping not 1, not 2, but 3. Look at that. Jiggy is getting jiggy with it. Dropping 2 right there. Thank you so much, Jiggy. Rebel Sky with a 2-bucker. Shannon dropping a $5 Canadian. Mr. Like It or Not swinging in with a $10 super chat. And of course, we got our guy, Mr. Ryan Michael dropping a $5 as well. You guys are amazing. Thank you so very much. We reached that goal. You have unlocked a bonus stream this weekend, and we will figure out what that bonus stream is going to be. 10 jewels from Ryan West. Thank you so very much. Really do appreciate you. And yeah, guys, we will be hanging out tomorrow. I will be over at my sister's house tomorrow, hanging out with Duncan. I'm not sure if he's going to make an appearance. But yeah, I'll be over there tomorrow, and we'll have a little fun with Late Night with the Davey. Thank you all so very much for hanging out. Make sure you hit that like button, all that kind of good stuff if you haven't already. Shout out to the Patreon members, the YouTube channel members, and of course, our awesome group of Death Squad mods. What's going on here in the chat? Is Billy, are you being not so nice? I need to take a look at this. I was about to say goodbye, and I'm like, see, yeah, I don't think that I have heard, Billy, just to let you know, what I've heard is that there were not plans to bring Kirby back in Scream 8. That's what I've heard, but I've heard that there are people out there saying that there were plans to do it. I don't know what the truth is at this point, but I think just out of respect with everything that's just happened in the last week, that now's just not the time to really care about that. Does that make sense? I think that's where we're coming from, bud. It's not coming from a place of like, you know, we're not trying to come down on you or anything. It's just a place of respect for Hayden and everything like that. And just like, you know, at some point we can, you know, we let everyone sort of heal a little bit, let some time pass. And, you know, we always end up theorizing about this or that with these franchises. And I'm sure there will be a time when having that conversation is just a lot more appropriate. And yeah, and just a little more, just trying to be aware of the moment, really. So that's all, bud. You know, I hope you can understand that. It's a very sensitive time for a lot of people, and we just want to be, you know, myself particularly, like it hit me a lot harder than I would have ever thought. And this isn't about me and how I'm handling it. I'm just saying that I'm sort of surprised at how it's affected me. I could only imagine the way it's affecting other people more dramatically. So just trying to be very respectful of that. Okay. So you're still welcome here, all that good stuff. I just don't want to do any of the speculative talk like that. That's all. So I hope that makes sense and everything like that. And yeah, we're going to just honor, you know, we honored her memory, you know, a little over a week ago, and we're just going to kind of let things be and let things breathe for a minute. But thank you all so very much. I do really appreciate you guys hanging out. You guys are absolutely beautiful. You're amazing. I love you all. I will be back tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern. You better friggin' believe it. But you know how we end these things, right? Oh, wait, before we end things, guys, keep an eye out. I'm dropping a video tomorrow morning. I'm halfway through the edit. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a little Elm Street action, and maybe it ties into something that we talked about at the very end of tonight's stream. I don't know. You're going to have to check out the video and let me know what you think in the comments and all that stuff. So make sure your notification bells are hit so you don't miss any video drops or any live streams or anything like that, or any pictures of Duncan. You don't want to miss Duncan pictures. So love you guys so very much. Have a great rest of your night. How do we end these things here? I think this is what we do. Until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.